All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest, most critical decisions any business ever makes, choosing where to set up shop. Sounds kind of simple, right? You find a spot you like, you open your doors. But what if I told you that decision is less about luck and more about a science that can literally make or break you? Let's start with just one single number.
Just look at that, 80%. If you're an entrepreneur, or hey, even if you're just planning a big project, this number should kind of make you nervous. Because this one number, well, it represents the single biggest reason for spectacular success and for total failure.
So here's what that really means, and it's a real wake-up call. The right location can be responsible for up to 80% of your project's success. But, and this is the scary part, flip that coin, and the wrong one is the direct cause of 80% of failures. The stakes just could not be higher. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you make sure you stay on the right side of that 80%? Well, it all starts with understanding the most common and the most deadly mistakes that people make right from the get-go.
All right, so first up, let's dig into these killer mistakes. These are the traps that feel so intuitive, they almost make sense, but they're the very things that lead so many promising ventures straight into that failure zone.
The number one trap, and it is so common, is just falling in love with a place. We've all been there, right? You walk into a space and get that emotional pull, that gut feeling that tells you this is it. This just feels right. It's so easy to trust that feeling, but honestly, it's probably the fastest way to lose everything.
Look, here's the hard truth. Your personal taste doesn't matter one bit here. A business location isn't about what you find charming. It's about what the data supports and what your customers actually want and need. After all, liking the view from the window doesn't pay the rent. And that leads us right into the next big mistake, completely ignoring who actually lives, works, and shops in the area. It seems so basic, but you can have the greatest product in the entire world, and if the people who want to buy it aren't there, you don't have a business. It's that simple.
And this is where just looking around can be so misleading. You might find a neighborhood that looks really upscale, beautiful buildings, clean streets, and you think, this is perfect for my high-end shop. But the real data, the demographics, might show that the people living there are actually students or retirees on fixed incomes. Your perception creates a fantasy, but the demographic reality leads to a permanently empty store.
Now, this third mistake is a little tricky because on the surface, it feels like a massive win. It's when you find a location and realize there's no competition. None. So many people think they've just hit the jackpot.
But you have to stop and ask a really critical question. Does this mean you're a pioneer who's about to open up a brand new market, or does it mean you're lost in the desert? Because more often than not, a total lack of competitors isn't a good sign. It's a huge red flag that other people have already tried and failed right where you're standing.
Okay, so we've seen the pitfalls. Now, how do we do it right? Let's switch gears and look at how the pros handle this. This is where we move away from guesswork and gambling and into a calculated, strategic, and professional approach. So, at the heart of this is usually a framework, something like this hexagonal evaluation system. Instead of just one or two gut feelings, it forces you to look at a location from every single important angle. You've got the obvious stuff, right? Like accessibility and visibility. But then you get into the nitty-gritty, like human flow, actual foot traffic, and how well your business fits in with what's already there. Not to mention hidden costs or future expansion potential. It's a full 360-degree checklist that just doesn't let you have blind spots.
And what's amazing is that today we can totally supercharge a system like that with incredible technology. I mean, think about it. You can use Google Heat Maps to literally see where people are walking at different times of the day. You can use virtual reality to stand in the middle of a store from your office before you've even signed a lease. And things like GIS analysis let you stack dozens of data maps on top of each other, income levels, traffic patterns, competitors, to see things that are completely invisible to the naked eye.
Theory is all well and good, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's look at a titan of industry that gets this right almost every single time. And then a cautionary tale that shows just how badly things can go when you miss one little detail.
So, for our success story, let's talk about the absolute master of this game, Starbucks. Their global dominance is anything but an accident.
Here's the thing about Starbucks. They don't guess. Ever. They use a meticulous, data-driven formula that predicts how profitable a location will be before they even think about signing a lease.
It's why they're willing to pay an insane premium for a very specific corner lot. It's not just any corner. It's the one with the perfect visibility and traffic flow that their data demands. It's a repeatable system, not good luck. Now let's flip that coin one more time and look at a total disaster. This is the story of a smart devices store. Great product, super passionate owner, and one single fatal flaw in their location strategy.
And this is what that one flaw cost them. $300,000. Just gone. The whole business wiped out. Not because the product was bad or the service was poor, but because of one avoidable mistake they made before they even unlocked the doors.
And what's crazy is that this failure perfectly highlights the power of that hexagonal system we just talked about. See, the store was in a high-traffic area, which seemed great, but it was physically set back from the street, kind of hidden behind other buildings. They failed on just one of those 6 points, visibility. People literally could not see that they existed. A basic methodical check would have flagged that on day one and saved the entire company.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What are we supposed to do with all of this information? It really boils down to a fundamental shift in how you think. It's about moving away from hope and luck and embracing a deliberate, intelligent strategy.
Look, the days of just getting lucky with a location, they're over. In today's world, leaving the single most important decision for your project up to pure chance it's not a strategy for survival. The tools and the systems are out there for everyone to use.
If you remember only one single thing from our time here today, let it be this. Data is the new king. Gut feelings, what you personally like, your assumptions, they've all been dethroned. The foundation for every single decision has to be objective, solid data. Period. And here's the best part. This isn't some kind of rocket science. You don't have to be a data wizard to get this right. But you absolutely do have to be disciplined. It's about having a system, like that hexagonal framework, and just following it, step by step, for every single location you consider.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you know the risks, you know the rewards, you know the mistakes to avoid, and the tools the pros use, the next time you're facing this decision, are you going to leave your big idea up to chance, or are you going to build it on strategy? The choice is all yours.